I don't. That's up to Courtney, not us.
I mean, she's not naming names, so I don't see.
I'm not dropping.
I don't see the problem with it.
All right, I'm reblogging the thing. It's
oh,
the
you are.
ritual. I'm just like, oh, we at it. I'm always like, we at it again, gamers.
I see Amber. Amber, you gotta get. Oh, you got the rock bridle. You've got to get the rest of that set. You're so close. Because I showed Amber the rock set the other day, which is the one with all the blue flames that you can get from that one place in Jarlaheim, because it's like perfect for that horse. Beautiful. You're on your way.
10,000 away from it.
Oh boy.
Where's ponies?
I think, okay, I think I'm gonna get, because the only one that I'm like certain on is the Percheron. So I'm gonna get the Percheron. And then how long are these guys staying?
May 4th, 6th? I think May 6th.
Oh, so like a month.
Yeah, usually they're there for 3 weeks.
So I'll have time to decide.
I like them both. I think I'm gonna go with the Percheron first, since I already have the tack planned out and I don't know what I want for the Marlari. I'm sorry to my little pony that's not fully maxed out. She's at level 13.
I say this will surprise no one, but I do not have a name picked out. So here we go.
I do. I don't have a stable cleared out though.
Oh, I don't either. Oh no.
Mine's like at the very top, so that was easy.
Oh no. I don't want to call it Cherry Blossom because that's too easy. That's what my mom did with her bar cart, and I don't want to be like that. Wood horse. Wood horse.
I named mine
Naga!
Naga!
I rapidly approach you in return.
My horse is now in the stable. Goodbye, gamers.
Big Blossom.
Buttercup.
That's not what I'm naming it, but just Big Buttercup. You can actually name it Birch if you want. Like there is one that's like Birch something that you could do for the Birch guy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. You know, sometimes I think like, oh, when I'm getting a new horse, like, maybe I should let the chat decide what to name it, and then I realize that that would be an absolute disaster. I don't feel like that would be a smart decision on my part.
But it could be, if you weren't a coward. I think you should let Naga name the horse. Naga, what should we name the horse?
But Naga, it's all, like, pre-selected names. Hi, more chat people's incoming. I'm trying to figure out what to name Cherry thing.
And then I have to somehow find, because the tack I want to put on this horse is on everywhere, is anywhere but my closet.
Oh no. I was gonna put the set on it that Stephanie had on it, but I don't have any money, and I don't want to pay star coins for it. So I'm probably gonna try the tack set from Farah on it and see if that works. And I think it will in the normal state, which is what I want to have it in most of the time. And just go from there. Oh.
Unless. Wait. You don't know what else might be a cute tack set on it?
Ooh, what?
That Warm Wishes tack set. If you have it.
That could be cute.
I have it and I'm kind of looking at it and it's kind of cute.
The one from this year or last year?
This year.
Oh, I don't know. I don't have that one. I kind of skipped out doing that. I'm so sad that they have magma in here but not lava. That made me very sad when I went to go name my horse. Like, I know.
That's like an F in the chat.
It really is. I was able to name my Red Dead horse whatever I wanted, so her name is just Lava. Made me happy. Oh, you guys aren't gonna believe this. So I Red Dead updated with like the bounty hunter update or whatever for the month, because I guess it updates once monthly, and I was able to get on it on this computer for a couple days, and then yesterday it kicked me off again. And I don't know what it's doing, and clearly it's nothing wrong with my PC, because literally I've been able to run it for like hours at a time. Like, I don't know. So it's something weird going on with the game on this computer, because what it does is it knocks my monitors out, and it tells me my monitors have no signal. So the game will still be open. I can hear the game open, and I can hear like stuff on my computer running, because I was listening to YouTube and playing the other day, and I could still hear John Oliver playing in the background. But I had no monitors, because they just shut off and they wouldn't turn back on, and I was like, cheers.
Oops.
So I don't know, guys, because I wanted to, I sometimes, and I had this conversation with my mom the other day, it's like, sometimes when there's nothing in Star Stable and I don't have a horse to level up, it's really boring when you guys aren't here.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's nothing for me to do. So it's like, it would be nice to have some other game to play, on the the off chance that you guys aren't here and there's nothing to do in Star Stable.
Yeah.
And I thought Red Dead was going to be it, because it's like, man, I could run around for hours and do missions and stuff, but guess not. Guess I've been nerfed. Oh my god, this is much harder than I thought.
Do you guys want to hear about what crime I committed yesterday?
I would love to, Courtney. I would love to know what crimes you're committing when I'm not around to supervise you. Like it's my job.
It's pretty mild.
You say that, and then it's gonna be something ridiculous.
It's not, because it was literally just mild shoplifting. Which sounds really bad.
Crime?
Admitting your crime on stream.
So, all I did was take a cutting from a plant at a store.
Oh, yeah, Yeah.
I wasn't gonna pay like $30 for it, so I just took a couple leaves.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's not bad. Like, listen.
I know.
It could have been worse.
And so much worse.
Oh my god. Chat, help me name this thing. I just have not a damn clue. I was kind of hoping that, okay, so I found Botanic as a first name, and I was kind of hoping Panic would be in the second one, but there is no Panic, because I thought Botanic Panic would be kind of fun, seeing as it's a tree. Tip.
Now I need to change my outfit.
What did you guys name yours?
Acacia.
Aw.
Yeah.
Courtney, you said Demon King?
Yes.
I love that.
What did Stephanie name her? Where she put it in the
She
chat.
said Honey.
Honey. That's cute.
I get like demon vibes from these ones because of
the eyes.
Yeah. I don't love it, but
see, I think it's cool. I think the pupilless eye is kind of cool, actually. I wish we'd get like, I don't know if I'm on the fence of how I feel about it in normal coat, because I do like that there's still that hint of strangeness about the normal coat. I think that's really cool, but maybe it should have had a pupil in it for the normal coat. Because I see people complaining about the realism of like, oh my god, its eyes are pink and its normal coat. And it's like, guys, well, first of all, you're playing a fantasy horse game. So get off your high horse, for one. Pun wholly intended. But two, it's like, seriously. Like, there are other horses in the game that are not even magic horses that have unrealistic eye colors. Like, there are other horses in this game. Yeah. There are horses in this game that have green eyes. There's no real horse that has green eyes. Other than, is it Perlinos, Courtney? Or is it Champagne that have... There's one kind of like specific color horse that their eye almost looks green. It's almost like a hazel though.
I don't know. I just realized I have 4 Marwaris now. Oops.
I love that model a lot, and yet I only have the one. And that's why I'm like on the fence about this guy, because he's just so goddamn weird and I really like it. But I'm also like, I already have a Marwari and it's not my favorite wild coat and it's not my favorite normal coat. So it's like, do I wait for something new to come out? Meanwhile, the Percheron, I just think the Percheron's the bee's knees. He's pretty cool.
Okay,
I'm in the same position since I already have my Marwari too, so I feel like the Perch would be a better fit.
Yeah, well, I'm laughing at Emma because before everyone got on, me and Emma have this ritual whenever we hop into chat together. We're like, Emma, Lori.
I'm always in the, like, I always pop into the voice chat first and I mute myself, and usually Lori is the second one in. And she just straight up comes in with, Emma. And then I sit here, like, sometimes I don't notice that you're in here until you do that. And then I'm just, like scrambling to unmute myself. And I'm like, Mary.
And the things, I was like, it's like we're two old ladies like talking to each other. And I just got reminded that because you're like, I just think the Percheron's the bee's knees, and because I'm like, that's an old lady thing to say. I love it.
Oh my god!
And I'm like older than you, so take it as a compliment.
Okay. Ooh.
No, it was good. It was good. Please always use it.
Fairy.
You should do a meme name.
I thought about Moon for something, but it doesn't fit this.
No. They have not done a sun and a moon horse for magic horses, and I'm shocked.
No, the Umbra and the Ayla are moon cycles, but they have not done a sun horse.
Listen, I want a sun horse. And I want to call it Moon because it's a stupid joke.
Oh my god. Oh.
So I'm very sad that they chose the Percheron to be a tree horse, and it could have been like
a moose
or even a steampunk.
I know. God, the steampunk designs. Right. Oh, my heart. Hi, Neon. What does anyone know what that screenshot? Is it just the fact that my horse has fallen asleep in front of the Hanami, waiting for me to pick a name? I'm sorry for the 3 people that are watching. I didn't plan this out. I had all day, and I didn't do it. I apologize. Like, I literally had all day at work to sit here and go, I'm gonna name my horse. And I didn't do it.
Can't believe you. I like, though, that they admitted, haha, yeah, so, like, we made these magic horses because we can't bring the others back, but these ones will come back in the future.
Yeah.
And everyone, Twitter was upset.
I kind of want to talk about that. Because, and actually, I think I'm going to... Oh, man, no. I was going to name it Rose Quartz, but I don't quite think that. I don't know. And that's not a Steven Universe reference. I know, like, people would probably think that. It's really not. I was thinking pink.
Yeah.
But I think the reason why people have a problem with these horses is specifically because the other ones exist.
Yeah.
And no, like, they are no worse than any other horse that has come out before. They're not. They're no worse than any other magic horse. Like, I like these guys better than the Dorcha and Solus, which are out right now. Like, I'm not. I will admit I do not like Hot Pink Thing. I think it's really bad. Its normal coat's cool, but I think it's really bad. But I know why they did it. You know, and the Dorcha might not be my favorite, but it is also it's super pretty. I think the wild coat's super pretty. Like with these guys, there's definitely something to like, and I think that they, in some ways, improved upon the Birch and the Sakura, the original ones. However, those were so popular when they came out, and everybody knew right from the beginning that these things were meant to take their place, essentially. And I think that really struck a nerve with people because the originals were so popular. But I will also say that when the originals came out, that was the very first time that they had done a really odd magic horse like that. And a lot of people did not like them. A lot of people thought that they were ugly as sin. So don't come into this house and say that you want the other ones back when 4 years ago, actually was it? No, it was not. It was 2019. 3 years ago, y'all were complaining about how those things looked. Don't give me that shit.
So Emma.
Yeah.
Have you named your horse yet?
No. I do think I have one though. Rosewood. I think I go with Rosewood.
That's cute.
Rosewood. If wood is not
Wood.
Wood is not a last name.
Oh.
I'm in physical pain.
You could just name it Rose, man.
No. Guys don't understand.
What do you mean? I don't understand. Is there Emma lore that I'm missing out on?
No, not today. Not today. Don't worry about it. This is all the stream's gonna be. Like, we knew this. I knew this going in. Anyway, I will eventually decide on a name. And then we'll be off and about. You guys can go do whatever. I see you're all standing around here waiting for me. I say Larry's off on her own. Amber's here. Courtney's here. Audrey's here, but not in the voice chat. Hi, Audrey. Also, Neon's here.
Too. She's just on mobile.
Yeah.
So she can't talk at the moment. She left her computer
I see Kylie.
I see
Kylie.
Yeah.
I changed to this horse's magic coat, and I'm like, this is Ugliest thing in the world. But maybe it'll grow on me.
Oh,
Get it?
which one? The cherry? Which one? The cherry or the birch?
The cherry. It's just bad colors put together. I'm like, this is horrible color theory, bros.
Yes.
Yes, same here.
It's very dark, but it's not even dark in like an aesthetically pleasing way, because you guys know how much I love my black and dark bay horses. Like, really, like everything that I put out, like, for myself is black for the most part and dark. And there's just something about that. I think the thing that makes me angry about why it's so dark is they did a wonderful job laying out the fact that this is actually a horse made of wood. It's beautiful. Like, when you actually look at the way that they shaped the wood to the horse, it's gorgeous. I am pissed because you cannot see that. It's so dark, you cannot see it. Makes me sad.
And I guess I don't care for, like, the green moss on the hooves and everything.
That's another part I don't like either.
Yeah.
They could have did more cherry blossom roots going up like the old one, but I see that they wanted to stay away on how the old ones were, like, designed. But I'm just like, okay, but like this is a really bad design. I would like to talk to whoever. A polite conversation, as in artist to artist. Why?
Also, hello chat. Do I like horse?
Chat.
Do I like horse? I like things about horse. I have name now. I'm calling it Thorn Rose.
Yes.
Here we go. Yes. Good. Yes. Gone. Horse in barn. Gonna go get it. All right. We were just getting into talking about why we do and don't like horse. Okay, here's an idea. And I don't know if we've actually, like, done this before. I know we've, like, introduced ourselves this way. We're like one person at a time kind of a thing. Well, there's only 4 of us in the chat. So do we want to go around for each horse, so the birch one and the cherry one, and give?
I'm not there.
I mean, I just left to go get horse. Do we want to go around and give, like, 1 like and 1 dislike per horse?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
All right. I am going to. Oh man, I just tried to use Red Dead controls to get off my horse. Oh no. I will be right there with horse. I have to find something with horseshoes that I can steal, so I can give this, so this thing can go faster. And I don't know which of my horses has horseshoes.
Belt.
Oh no. Do any of you? Where? Someone has to. My entire first row does not have horseshoes. Seriously? Oh my god.
Where did their shoes go?
I mean, I know I have, like, a finite amount of horseshoes. But, like... No. I must have something out in the pasture that has horseshoes on it. Because only 1 horse in my barn currently has horseshoes, and that is not correct. There's no way. But I don't know what one would, so I'm just gonna steal them off of my Appy, I guess. Yeah, I know it's for the horse I'm currently riding. I want its shoes. Leave me alone. Yeah, sorry, Naga. I know that the YouTube comments don't show up on Twitch. They show up on the screen, though. Like, they should show up on chat.
They are pretty tiny, though, so it's hard to read on screen.
Yes. Let me see, like, Because I can make that bigger. My screen is just very... There we go. Let me see. See, it's like I don't know how big to make it because I still want people to be able to see the game.
Mm-hmm.
So, is that better, guys? I hope that's better.
I think so.
Okay. All right.
Where are we all meeting?
Do we want to meet back at Moorland?
Or do we go to Valedale Lake like we usually do?
Oh, we can go to Valedale Lake.
I think no one's usually there, and then you can easily gather in a little circle there.
Yeah.
I can run there right now because I'm pretty close. I was like, to the trailer. Wait, I don't need to waste that money.
Okay. I forgot these things can wear leg wraps. Oh, that's pretty good. Oh, that's pretty. Alright.
Oh, that is pretty.
That's pretty. Do I have a pet for you? Do I have a pet I can put in here? Do I want a pet? Do I care? Nothing really fits. I don't need a pet. Do I change outfits?
Do you?
I feel like I should, otherwise I'm gonna be mad about my aesthetics that don't match. There we go. Someday I'm gonna look for my other horseshoes that are all gone and find them and figure out which horses they're actually on. Because it's gonna drive me insane now. Because I know I have at least 3 pairs of horseshoes. And I don't know where they are. Oh yeah, a container for the chat and the game. Yeah. No, you're right. When I had to reboot my computer, because I literally over Thanksgiving, this computer was just shot. It was blue screening constantly, and I had to completely reset it. And so I had a really nice format on Twitch, and then I had to redo it, and now I'm just I didn't have a lot of time to put into making the new one, but I can definitely go back, and I thought about making a container for the chat. I just wasn't, because I had one before, but I didn't quite like how it fit on the screen, so I'll play around with it. Lurie.
I made it.
You know what's funny is looking at the tack set that you have on that versus the tack set on this is just because of the intensity of how hot the pink is that you're wearing, it makes the horse's black points look really dark. And then there's mine, and for some reason the rose color, the dusty color tack, almost makes him look lighter. It's funky. Also, Courtney, I was that's the set that I thought about putting on that Marwari too.
Same.
Yeah.
All of us have same brain cell. Yes.
Yeah, same brain cell. All right. So who do we want to start with?
I can go first.
One plus, one minus, and it can be about the real horse coat or just anything about the horse. Okay. Let's start with the cherry one.
Okay.
So I'll change, but Lurie, you don't. I was gonna say we can leave one normal and one.
Okay.
So that everybody can have a look-see.
Do I go first?
Please.
Okay, well, one thing I like is the Chanel boots. The Chanel boots. What I don't like is all of that Emma is sitting on the entire thing. I do not like the entire look of the magic coat. But the rendering on the bark is absolutely gorgeous.
Wow, Lurie, this isn't how art critiques work.
I know. I'm aware.
I say, Lurie, you've gone to art school. Have you ever sat down in a class and had someone go, I dislike everything about your piece. Next.
Yeah, professors.
Oh, okay. You know what? Fair.
I've had professors, not even in my own class, but I've had people come up and like talk to me because I was like the president of my club, so I had a lot of like, younger students come talk to me, and they're like, so and so professor said they hated my entire piece and didn't tell me why, and I'm like, yeah. Want me to look at it? And they're like, I'm not gonna name. There was just 2 professors, but that did that. But I won't name names in the stream, so I gotta keep professionalism even when I'm graduated.
Valid.
But if you want me to have a more not as silly, I don't like that. It's the whole color theory. That green with that brown and that pink. Yeah. It should have been it should have been a lighter brown. And personally, I feel that it should not have that mossy green, teal, bluish green whatsoever, because they all clash.
Yes.
It's not good. And so yeah, I'm not that's me. Hi everyone.
Fantastic, Lurie.
I'm this horsey.
Yes, Lurie's here. Do we want to go clockwise or counterclockwise? Because it's either me or Courtney next.
I guess I can go.
Okay, we're still on the cherry one.
Oh, we're doing the cherry one?
We're doing the cherry one. Everybody, okay. We're talking about the cherry one.
I really like the way they did the shading on the face and the normal coat.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually do like the magic coat. I just wish that the moss and stuff on it wasn't teal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why isn't it green? I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess one thing I don't like is the bright pink eyeballs. It throws off the normal coat for me, because I like my duns, but you know.
Understandable. Also, real quick for chat, we are on Frost Valley server. Hi everybody. All right, Amber, your turn.
Yeah, I think I discussed this like a few days ago, but one of my main complaints is just the mane and how it's shaped. I guess it doesn't really look right to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm not really too sure how to explain it. It just doesn't look right. Doesn't look really that natural, even though it's supposed to be like a magic hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just looks like it's just hanging in pieces, rather than being flowing as one.
Yeah, the Percheron model, like, honestly, I think the Percheron model itself is one of the nicer ones in the game, but I wish that they would have done the cool braided one for the cherry. I think that would have been neat to have the loopy braids of the Percheron like that.
Yeah.
But for some reason, like, and I don't, it doesn't bother me as much in like the normal coat, but for some reason with the cherry blossoms on it, it does kind of make it look more noodly than I feel like it does otherwise.
Right.
And
it doesn't look that bad on the normal coat, but on the magic coat, it just looks kind of weirdly shaped since the flowers are kind of morphing into them.
Yes. It's way more emphasized on the, like, specifically because of the flowers, and maybe it's because, like, each segment stretches out when the horse stretches, so then the flowers distort, and it just kind of looks a little weird.
Right.
But, yeah. I get you.
I do love all the details on the bottom of the hooves with the moss. Even though the moss is like not a great color, it has a pretty good detail on it though.
Yeah, I agree. Like there's so many things that I do like about this horse, but the one thing that I like find myself not quite able to get past is the color. Just of the whole thing. Okay, so I'm gonna start with what I like, and I think the normal coat is pretty fantastic. Like I really don't have anything bad to say about the normal coat at all. Stephanie pointed out earlier, and I thought this was neat, that like even though the dun markings, the extreme dun markings, are like brindly, like they are supposed to be like realistic, and real horses can have those, it actually looks like tree bark. I think that's awesome. Like if you look at the sides of the horse, like it has the knots going up the side, and I think that's super cool. Yeah. Just the little things. It's the little things. But one thing I noticed in the magic coat is, and Lurie, see if you can see this too, is like from the side, it's this very, very dark brown. When you move your camera above, does it turn green, or am I seeing things? Because the wood on the back of the horse is clearly green.
It's green.
I have to make a comment on that because it just clashes with the mint green and the green overtones on the wood.
Yes, and that's exactly like if the green on the hooves and like the moss in general was a lighter, more yellow green, because that's the kind of green that is like tinged, like the wood is tinged green, it would probably work, and I wouldn't care that the horse was dark, you know. But the fact that the wood is tinged green and it's a completely different green than the green used on the moss, like you have a yellow green versus a blue green, they don't fit together, so it's really funky. But as far as like the shape, like how they actually constructed the horse, it's super clever. It's super clever. Like the wood follows the shape of the muscles, and I'm especially like, I'm gonna take my saddle off for a minute so people can see this, because it's very cool. And go into photo mode actually. So like look at how it almost like curves to the muscle group right there.
Right.
It's very, very well done. And then same with the face. Is like the horse even has the hollows above its eyes like a real horse would have, because you see that on a real horse skull, is the area above their eyes, right below their ears, is hollow. And the ridges on the cheekbones and how the muzzle fits together, like there's a separate piece for the nose. It almost looks like armor, and you can see the skeletal features. It's so well done. But the color my dudes, it just makes me sad, because it has so much potential, and there's a part of me that like wants to get a really nice pic, take it into Photoshop, and see what I can do with it. But then I also kind of think that might be a bit of an asshole move, because the last thing you want to see as an artist is somebody taking your stuff and going, look, I redesigned it and made it better.
Yeah.
Like, that's such a dick move. So, I don't know. But, like I said, they nailed some parts and they missed on others, and I think, we'll continue to see that with magic horses, because that's been the case this entire time.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm still, like, even though we've gone through, excuse me, this is the third, I think this is the third round of magic horses that come out since the Dragon Horse, and personally, I haven't been wowed since the Dragon Horse, and even the Dragon Horse wasn't that, you know, grand or spectacular, but it's just the fact that you know that they can add to different models and totally change the tail and all that stuff, and they have, and like, you know, the main, like the city coats of the Dragon Horses, both of them were gorgeous.
Yeah, they turned out nice.
And I really loved the dragons because I was like, whoa, it's like, it actually is like a magic horse, because when I click the button,
it's completely different.
It's completely different. And then I was hoping with like, and then I was disappointed for Halloween, and then it was the Arabians were very pretty. I kind of skipped out on them over the winter.
Yeah,
but I guess I'm just sad that they haven't tried adding to the model,
especially when you see the concept art they put out.
Yeah, and
because
the fact
that
they
had
they could do it.
Yes, exactly. And I do not think, like, I don't want anybody to think that, like, we view, like, Star Stable and the people working on the stuff as being lazy, because there's, when you're dealing with, like, as somebody who's in production design, like, as my job right now, and Lurie, I'm sure you see this with the project that you're working on, is like, things are designed a certain way to sell to the demographic, like the major demographic. Like, there's a reason that the peacock butterfly ones, like Dorcha and Solus, came out, and one of them is hot pink. Like, little girls play this game, and they love hot pink. Like, or dragons. Like, this is a fantasy game, and people have been begging for some of this, like, high fantasy stuff. So here, have dragons, you know?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But these two in particular, because the Halloween ones grew on me. Like, I was sure I was going to skip out at first, and then they grew on me. Still do not like the magic coat of the one that I bought, because I bought the Song Sorrow. Still don't care for the magic coat, but I think the real coat, super cool. The winter ones I thought were gorgeous, but I did not need them. I already had Arabs, and I didn't want any more Arabs, and I don't know, they weren't, like, spectacular enough for me to budge on that.
Yeah.
And then these guys, obviously I bought one because I think it's pretty cool. But will I ride around in the magic coat a bunch? No. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just how it be.
Right.
Alright, we wanna do Birch Guy now?
Yeah.
And maybe we start with Courtney because she's riding it.
Yes.
Sure.
You want me to change to the magic coat?
Let me get a good look at you first. Oh yeah. Haunts. Alright, Courtney.
I guess one thing I don't like about it is that, I don't know, I don't love the magic coat. I know what they were doing, but I guess to me it makes more sense to have the black marks be vertical like they are on the neck. Does that make sense? Because, like, I know that the neck is, like, up and the tree grows up, but, like, when the horse's head is down, they're vertical, and the rest of the ones on the body are horizontal, and it doesn't make sense.
Right.
But I guess other than that, I don't really dislike anything about it. I do like that they fixed the markings on the normal coat, and they look very nice. And if you, like, zoom way in on photo mode, they look very nicely detailed.
Alright, who wants to go next?
roast my horse.
That's basically what this is.
All right, I'm gonna do what I like because I'll since Emma wants me to take this, sounds like a actual art critique. No, just kidding.
You do whatever you want, Larry.
I'm in love with the leaf ears.
Okay, but same.
They are so freaking cute. I have to say,
the
two magic horses, like this magic coat is probably one of my like next to the probably the dragon horse. Like I really like the magic coat of this one. The only thing I don't like about the magic coat, because I have no comment about the black and white normal coat. I'm just like, that's a black and white horse, and I nod my head. But I guess I don't like how dense the other green leaves are in like tail and then the mane. Like, because with the this one, it's like there's quite a few obviously stamped on cherry blossoms, but like with the birch, it might grow on me. I don't know. It just feels like it's too dense. And especially when they, like right now, like for on my screen, the horse is going down and eating grass. They stretch out awfully.
Yeah.
I only got it for the normal coat, so understandable.
But the leaf ears might be loved.
The leaf ears are just fantastic. 10 out of 10 leaf ears alone. All right, Amber, you or me?
Let's see. So I basically pretty much have the same problems as I do with the cherry blossom with the mane. It's just, it comes to a tip where, I don't know, it's just the leaves kind of mold down to the very tip, which doesn't really look right or leafy to me. But like on the tail, it doesn't really do that to me.
Yeah, natural. The tail is a lot less offensive than the mane for some reason on the Marwari, and I don't know if it's because like there's more hair area on the tail. Like the way I've got it positioned on stream, I'm in photo mode right now, and the way I've got it positioned is like the complete underside of the tail has no leaves on it, so there's like relief from the green. Like if that makes sense. But it's so busy otherwise.
Exactly.
All right. My turn. Normal coat. I'm really glad that they fixed the things that they did because it was not looking good for a while. It really really made me nervous because we've all seen how well they can do white spots. And that I would have definitely considered to be just laziness on their part if they did not fix it, because I'm sorry, the quality was just not there. And I guarantee that was just a placeholder for somebody, and I know we shouldn't judge based on like what people find in the game files before anything is released. So that was obviously like a mistake on my part for being like, oh, I'm gonna judge this horse before it comes out. Nope. Sorry. Bad, Emma. Very bad. But the normal coat's wonderful, and I know that like the like blue-green eyes that it has in the normal coat like maybe stick out like a sore thumb, but I do still think they're very pretty. It's slightly more natural than like the pink of the Percheron. And actually, they do have pupils if you look really close.
Yep, they do.
They do. They're very light. But normal coat's great. And the problem that I have with the birch coat, I think the color scheme fits really well together. Like, it has almost the exact opposite problem of the cherry one. Where I think the color scheme is great, but the design could use a little work. Because here's the problem that I'm having. Courtney, you want to go back to the other one again?
Oh.
Just... Okay. My issue is the birch pattern on the horse is pretty much fully horizontal other than the neck. And like I can see what Courtney was talking about where when the horse's head goes down.
It's is entirely different.
Yeah, like that's a problem in itself, and I feel like you can see at the shoulder where they kind of did this V off to blend it.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. It works, because my issue with the original Birch one was that the entire horse was horizontal like that, and it didn't look right. So I think that's an improvement. But my beef is that the birch bark lines are running horizontally, but then the wood that makes up the tearaway markings is vertical, and I hate it. There's something in my brain that's like, this plus this does not look right on that horse.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, I can see what you're talking about.
I don't know. I think the tearing design is super cool, especially then when you mix it with the Sabino markings. Like, that's very clever. Good job. But oh man, the fact that the bark is clearly going horizontally, but then the patches are vertical, kind of drives me a little crazy. But I'm sorry, leaf ears.
Mm-hmm. The leaf ears.
The leaf ears.
I like the wood marking they did on the face in the magic coat.
Oh, yes.
But the wood color for a birch tree is way too dark.
Yes. And I kind of feel that's the same with the cherry one. Like, I was looking up real pictures of cherry trees earlier, and some are very dark. Some are very dark like this. But they're, and how do I say this? They're dark, but they're less saturated. Does that make sense? Like the wood almost looks like a coal, like a charcoal color, where it's almost got a black tinge to it, but it's not like pigmented and saturated as this color is. And I don't know why they put the green tinge on there. So the whole thing is very bizarre to me, that this is what they thought cherry would look like. But then the real horse coat is like the color that I would almost expect the bark to be. I don't know, guys. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. On the one that Cora's on, there's a little green patch on the snoot, and I feel like it works on this one because it matches the green of the leaves, and it's really cute, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Courtney, you want to go? Ooh, let me get close.
Tiny little snoot.
Oh yeah, there is a little greeny patch.
It's on the cherry blossom horse too. It's just kind of harder to see.
Is it?
Right.
Yeah, it's on the nosy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, hold on. I found another thing I don't like about Tron's magic coat. Hold on. I need to get into photo mode. Oh no. All those lips are atrocious.
Oh yeah, the lips do look old man-y.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Wrinkle lips. Also, hi chat. Sorry for anybody that walked in on that.
Hi chat.
Naga. Oh no. I'm gonna do a race so I don't we don't just sit here we've literally been on for an hour and this is as far as we've gotten. We missed the 8 o'clock champ and we
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
I know, it's just funny. And I knew that this was all this stream was gonna be tonight, was just vibing and saying things about the new horses. But it's always funny when we don't get very far.
That's true. We could also talk about the upcoming updates as well.
Oh, absolutely. Lurie, seeing as you said something, why don't you talk about it?
Hell yeah. I'm hoping that, like, I know they're like, you could now add a gender to your horse. I think it'd be cute if you could add a little description too. Just saying, like, if, or like, you know how cute it would be if you could go around and click on people's horses and there's like this little description.
You're right.
And
that would be precious.
I would have a heyday just reading about, like, because a lot of kids play this game, and I would love to see just kids' imagination run wild with these horses, or be like, I got her when she was 2 years old, and then she broke her leg, and then I healed her, and I'll be like, hell yeah, you go. You know, I would love that.
You go, you funky little 6th grader.
And then they're adding like 2 shirts or something. Who cares about shirts? Then the update after that is their
Baroness's racetrack.
It's fine. I'm hoping that can become like a new hangout hub. You know?
Oh sure.
Because I have a feeling because that sounds like it's going to be a brand new update. So and they have all that space.
They added bleachers. If you guys looked at the preview picture. Like, if you look at the little teeny circular preview picture that they posted, there are actually bleachers on the side.
Ooh.
Yeah. I also see someone in the chat. Cool. Someone in the chat. Hi, Carobit. It's 2 a.m. where you are. You should go to bed.
You should go to bed.
You should go to bed. I don't want anybody to lose any sleep because you're up watching the Perfect Pony Squad played. Watching the Perfect Pony Squad not play Star Stable, because literally what we are doing is just standing around talking in Star Stable.
It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
This is what we use the game for. Oh, wait. I have to... Yes. Yes. Gotta show off the moose walk. Excellent. We're gonna moose walk around Courtney.
I'm coming.
You know, the whole reason that like we even really started doing this, like the whole streaming thing and hanging out in Star Stable thing, is because when the pandemic started, there were like, you know, a couple of us in 4-H that were like, man, we aren't gonna probably see each other for months because 4-H up until like 4 months ago still didn't really want us meeting in person. Like, so, you know, as far as like 4-H meetings went, it's like we really couldn't do anything unless it was over Zoom. And we just decided instead we were going to do stuff on Star Stable because most of us had an account.
Yeah, and then people just trickled in after that.
Yeah, and then the rest of you guys showed up and we're like, oh, suddenly it became online friend hangout, and that's perfect.
Yeah. Because I remember seeing just a silly little post. I don't know if it was on Neon's page or your page.
I don't know.
There was a post that's like, we're having a stream. I'm like, oh, I'll pop in. And then you are like, get on this game right now, Larry. And I'm like, I know. I was like, okay. And now a year later, I have like 20 plus horses in the game.
We peer pressured Lurie and Amber and Kylie all into playing horse game.
So I now have a Welsh too.
Like horse game is good. Horse game is stress relief.
You really
just run
is.
And jump. You just run and jump. And sometimes little kids get mad at you for running and jumping really, really good. And you know what? That's okay.
Oh, Larry. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm still trying to get my boyfriend to play horse game.
Please?
And I know he wouldn't like I don't expect him to like grind it and hop on like stream and all that, but I want him to try it because I think it would be funny.
Yeah.
And he told me once, he's like, maybe I will, but like don't expect me to be on it all the time. And I'm like, no, that's literally not what I want to do. Like,
And like you could even have him like log on to yours or like just run around with like one of your horses, you know, to see if he likes it or not.
I thought about doing that. Actually, he's done that.
Oh,
he has done that. He
has played it, Emma.
Yes.
You lied to us. Like a
lie. I wanted him to make his own account.
Oh, okay.
So that like I could mess with him. But it won't happen. But he was over not last weekend, the weekend before. And I know I didn't meant like I wasn't gonna say anything in Discord chat. What I was going to do was I was gonna say like, oh, we're gonna have stream like normal, guys, and then I was gonna have him log on instead. like pop in the voice chat, and I was just, and the way we greet each other, Lurie.
I'd be like, Emma, and he'd have to say Lurie back.
Well, here's the thing is whenever we're on voice chat together and he pops into the voice chat, we always do hello. So like he probably
as it should be.
He probably would have done that to you, and I just God, that was so good. And I can't say that won't happen sometime because he probably will be like, yeah, we should actually do that. Let's prank all your friends. So just anytime, you have no idea. Could be me, could be him. We won't know.
We will never know.
We will never know. He always tells me, he's like, yeah, it doesn't matter that I'm over. Like, you should just stream. And I'm like, bro, I haven't seen you in 3 months. I'm not, like, I see these guys, I talk to these guys weekly. Like, like I'm
dude,
not
we can hold off.
Right, it's like, I'm not gonna hop on stream for, like, an ungodly amount of time when you'd be sitting on the couch behind me, watching me. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
I think, though, next time he's over, he should run the stream and play a horse game and be like, and he's the leader, and he has to be like, okay, guys, and we're like, tell us where to go.
I will let him know that you guys are game for that, because
yes, please.
That would be hilarious.
And then we can officially meet the boyfriend.
Yeah, because you guys would actually, if we were streaming, you'd actually see him, unless he doesn't want his face on camera, and then we'll figure that out.
Yeah, you could just take away the webcam, or or like, if you made the art, I know how to make a PNG tuber. He could be a little PNG tuber. I can make it bounce and talk and all that stuff.
Oh my god.
He could just be a silly little stick figure too, PNG tuber. He can be wherever he wants.
He's told me before that he's thought about streaming and stuff, and he's just like, I don't know if people would like me or not. And I'm just like, man, if people like me, which that's also debatable, but people would like you.
I would say go for it, cowboy.
He's been playing Elden Ring nonstop.
So is my sister.
Yeah.
But my sister just got the game because she's like, I just want to feel included. And she's never played anything from that developer before. And it's so funny because she knows that it's not easy and she's having fun with it.
Oh, good.
It rewards you for actually exploring and no set
that's
storyline and all that jazz. Yay. So... my dad being the one who taught us how to play video games.
Oh no.
He'd be like, just go up there and do this and that. And we're like, Dad, like that's not this is not your average go and kill the thing game. Like this thing knows exactly what you're gonna do and when you're gonna do it, even though it really doesn't, but it seems like it does. But yeah,
I love that.
Elden Ring looks like fun.
I haven't watched anybody play it, but I've seen like stills, and I like the aesthetic. I think it's very, because isn't it Dark Souls? Is it Dark Souls or Bloodborne?
Well, Dark Souls and Bloodborne is by the same studio, so yes.
Oh, okay. So I'm right on both accounts. Okay.
And with Elden Ring, the guy who wrote Game of Thrones wrote the story for the game.
Yes, that I knew.
And then Miyazaki helped design a lot of it, like the bad guys and like the areas.
Yeah.
So it has two legends, like story and aesthetic wise, like worked on it. So it's like it lives up to the hype.
That's awesome. Oh, guys, you guys know what I want to talk about, and
what do you want to talk about?
Forgive me if this may get into spoiler territory, but has anyone seen Turning Red?
Yes, I have.
Yes, I have.
I know
Courtney?
Neon has.
I'm gonna watch it this weekend, but I don't care about spoilers, so.
Okay.
Honestly,
like, I don't think we'll get into like like obviously I'm not gonna talk about like the end of the movie. I just kind of want to talk about like the little nuances of the movie, and I want to watch the behind the scenes documentary because I feel like that would be really cool. And I love Domi. I loved the short film she did, Bao, and I follow her on Instagram, and I love just all of her stuff. So to actually see her get to do like a feature length film, I think it's fantastic. But can we please talk about the fact that in the first half an hour of the film, like so many taboos, like so-called taboo subjects pop up, like
oh, absolutely.
When I tell it, I actually watched it. I watched it at work. And like, well, I have my headphones in, and I was drawing, right? So I was like, I have to put something on while I draw. And my jaw like dropped when the mom, like Ming, comes in and goes, "Oh, honey, if you started your period, I have this, and pads, lots and lots of pads." And I was like, "Oh my god, they really did that?" Like, it's something that totally should not be taboo, because like every woman goes through it at some point. Everyone deals with it, and it's like, why is this something that we can't talk about? And Pixar really saw that and went, nope. like let's talk all about it.
Well, yeah, because like for one, when you watch the making of documentary, all the leads and all the leads on the production were all women.
Yes.
So it's like, and everything too. It's like, it's literally a growing up story.
Yeah.
Everyone can relate to a growing up story, but then you have angry parents saying kids shouldn't be learning about periods, and it's like, actually they should.
Yes.
Because I think a lot of people can relate to, they were never warned about it until the day you got it.
Exactly.
For the first time.
Yep.
You were never told. Like, I wasn't. And I know multiple of my friends weren't either, so it's like, hey, like, I think like kids should be warned that this might and can happen to them, like, especially like if they identify as girl,
right? Like,
you will bleed, and it will not be fun.
Nope.
But even so, the thing is, the movie doesn't drop the word period. The mom calls it, "Did the red peony bloom?"
Yes.
Yes.
And they worked around it being like them dropping period or menstruation or anything like that to make it work. Because, you know, okay, for my job, I work on stuff for preschoolers.
Right.
It is insane how much you have to, the littlest things you have to censor just for preschoolers, right? I can only imagine what they have to censor, like, in a big film production, and you're carrying the name Pixar.
Yes.
But the fact that they're just like, hey, screw it. Everyone, like, not everyone, the majority of the world population gets a period, man.
Right.
We've had so many stories about boys being like, what do you mean I like girls now? What is this?
Right.
What? But so it's like, can we finally have a story about young women?
Yep.
Who start realizing, boys are cute.
That is one of my favorite parts of the movie. The notebook scene.
Yes.
Where she's doodling shitty anime drawings in her notebook. I'm gonna have to watch it again because it was so cringe in the most but it was so cringe in the most perfect I was once that child way.
Yeah, it's
and
so relatable.
I adored it because
I love how they did
yes.
I also love how they did like the practice drawings around it too.
Yes.
Like the little practice sketches.
Yes, and the fact that like in her notebook alongside her math notes.
Yeah.
I love it. Is that Aaron?
Listen, okay, one day during voice call. Yes, absolutely. But listen, this was a few months ago. I was in voice call with some of my buddies. And I was like, guys, what if I try? Because we found Eclipse Studio Paint tool that's called Shitty Eraser.
And it's no.
So I'm just like, guys, what if I tried to draw Aaron as like a young kid discovering they're like trying to draw anime for the first time, and they're like, you have to put his hands behind his back because you can't draw hands yet. And one eye is bigger, one eye is smaller. I can pull up the actual art that I drew.
Oh my god, Larry! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
When they were like, "Hey, I made this a meme template," I'm like, "Oh my god! I already have this art perfect and ready to go."
It's stunning, absolutely stunning.
There's the whole image.
Oh, Larry. But
do you like the name of the file? It's called Wowie Zowie. Wowie Yowie Zowie or something.
Oh no! There's the word Yowie in it. Oh no. I just God and the expressions. I see a lot of complaints about people saying, "Oh man, the bean art mouth style is back. The Cal art style is back."
No,
and guys, no, it's not that. This is literally an homage to anime.
It is.
It's an ode to anime. This is an influence. Like, okay, I guess one of the names for the film was gonna be like My Neighbor Toronto.
Yeah.
And I love that so much. And it's like, you can clearly see the influences from Ghibli. And then I know Domi mentioned Sailor Moon at one point.
There's a lot of Sailor. I've never seen Sailor Moon. There's a lot, though.
Yes. And just the way that they were able to like push and pull and just the elasticity of the faces and the expressions. Excellent. Oh, yeah. And it adds so much to the personalities of all those characters. Just so well done. And also Pixar's recent trend of not doing villain of the week movies, beautiful, gorgeous, keep it up. I'm in love.
I like their two new films, Luca and Turning Red, because it's literally, they had directors that have never directed a Pixar film, because you could tell a bit ago that Pixar was like, oh crap, they basically went through every single film that was the original, scratched on that table in that diner. Like, they got through all of those films and they're like, uh-oh. And, it's really nice to kind of see that they're letting new directors in. Yeah. To, like, bring in this fresh perspective. Because, like, I unfortunately, Emma, I hate to say it, Onward is probably my least favorite of the last four films, or the last few films that they've released.
I was just gonna say that I will defend Onward with my dying breath.
I know. Like, I'm not saying it's bad. It's just out of all of them, it's not my favorite. It didn't have, for me, it didn't have that honestly, the only one that had that Pixar flair, that had the signature Pixar feel to it, was Soul.
See, and I haven't even watched Soul yet. And I
Soul
do
is very good.
I do need to. I'm not great with existentially stuff like that.
Yeah,
so,
but that director for Soul directed other Pixar films that had the equal, the like I think he also directed Inside Out too.
Oh,
so
sure,
like he's like a big dude on like, we're gonna explore mortality and emotions and like kind of like that Pixar feel, I guess.
Yes. I will be completely straight up honest though, I do not like Inside Out.
Inside Out's really good. Inside Out's very good.
I think it definitely serves a purpose. I think that it's a very clever idea. Do I care for it? Not at all. But is it well done? 100%, absolutely.
Like, it was really interesting. I was like, every Monday, me and the entire preschool team, because I'm my bigger team in my work is called the preschool team, but I am part of just like the little animation
team.
The
preschool team. Yay, Larry.
We're the preschool team. I'm 5'2" and I'm in the preschool team. And there's this guy, because like we were talking about Turning Red, and this guy like made the I didn't mention it, but I'm just like, oh my god, you're absolutely right. He has a 3-year-old daughter who can't. When you're that young, you just feel emotion. You don't understand them, right? You can't comprehend them because you're 3. But he's like, my daughter didn't like Turning Red because he's like, the main character's too upset. I want to watch Inside Out, and her favorite movie is Inside Out. So he's like, unfortunately, we had to turn off Turning Red. But he said when dealing with his or handling his daughter's emotions, like when she's mad, really crying, all that stuff, he's like, is that anger talking right now? Or not talking about, like, is anger here? Is anger here? And he's like, and she'll nod and be like, yeah, anger is here. He's like, could joy, can we see joy too? Is like, is joy around? And she'd be like, no, but I think I can do sadness. So it's like, I'm like, and I never thought of it that way. I was just like, oh my god, Inside Out, it's like the perfect thing for really, really young kids to comprehend emotion. And I never thought of that because I'm not around tiny kids enough to make the connection. But he was talking about that. I'm like, that is adorable. And wow, I didn't realize that film could be that for kids.
That's like, I knew about like supposedly, from seeing things on the internet that like certain therapists were like, yeah, this is a film that I use, when kids need to talk about emotions for that exact reason. And that's why I'm like, okay, well, Inside Out is not for me. Because I get it, but I get it, like it's not for me. The story's great, I think it's like, it's so hard to like say I don't like this and then say everything's like about it is good. You know what I mean?
But the thing is, like, it could still be very good, but it doesn't have to be like your favorite,
Right.
You can still like it, but it's not you saying you don't like it is not saying you'd be like, I hate this with every fiber of my being.
Exactly, yeah. And I'm gonna go back to Onward for a second because I mean, you know why, but there's also,
I dishonored your baby.
there's I really think that Onward got the short end of the stick because of when it came out. It was
very beginning of the pandemic.
right at the pandemic, and it had, other than the story itself, because I know some people are like, again, there's no villain in Onward. What are, like, seriously? Who are we supposed to blah blah blah? It didn't need a villain.
No.
The boys literally have 24 hours to see their dad And in that 24 hours, even though Ian never gets to see his dad, he realizes that the figure he needed the most in his life was his brother. Come on. Are you kidding? Like that's a story that we really haven't seen before, because let's face it, in films, siblings often get the short end of the stick.
Oh yeah.
A lot of them die.
We did not have a budget for the sibling.
Right.
We had to kill them off.
And the other part too is that, you know, growing up without a parent, even though it's not something that I can personally relate to, it's something that a lot of people can. Whether you only have one parent in your life because, like, in Onward, one of them has passed on, or, you know, like, they're just not in your life anymore because they're not, and you look to that older sibling of yours, something, again, I cannot relate to because I'm an only child, but you look to that other person in your life as maybe not necessarily a parental figure, but somebody who's very, very important to you and a role model to you. And the journey leading up to that in Onward, I think, is exceptionally well done. But the part that I think goes to the wayside with Onward is they had so, like, a lot of Pixar films are set in offshoots of the real world, as in, like, our world. Whether it's Toy Story or, like, okay, The Incredibles, still technically our world, just 50s with superheroes. You know, so the part about Onward that I think missed a lot of people is the amount of care that went into crafting things that never actually made it into the film but still exist in the film's canon. Like, I actually have the concept art book sitting here, and definitely one of my favorite concept art books, because the team that worked on Onward would actually get together and have these massive world building meetings and discuss, like, oh, we can't use this and this brand, like brand of soda or brand of like fast food chains or whatever. And they had to literally sit down and brainstorm all these different things. And the game that is mentioned repeatedly in the film is a real playable game. Like, you can now, because of the knowledge and all the stuff that these, you know, the team from Pixar put together, you can actually play the game, and it's very D&D-esque, and it's really cool. But that's just a lot of, like, for people that maybe aren't into, like okay, you just watch a Pixar film, one and done, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I get why it didn't hit home with people. But there's so much to it that really, I mean, it doesn't get used in promotions at all. The stuff doesn't make an appearance in the film, but maybe a couple times. There are several deleted scenes that really would have added a lot to the film that did not make it in because they had to cut them for time, which I think you can probably say that for every movie, unfortunately. Yeah. But yeah, there is just so much care put in. And also the voice cast is fucking great. The voice cast is one of my favorite things about it. They also took a lot of care to watch the voice actors and put their mannerisms into the characters. And I think the most obvious one is Tom Holland, because he's so awkward in interviews. If you've ever watched an interview with him, like from years ago before he got used to doing them, the poor guy. He's such an awkward wreck, and they seriously got that into Ian, so much so that I sit there and, like, that's how I used to be in high school, like middle school and high school, which is another part of why I latched onto it, because I was that weird kid that had not older siblings, but like older like figures in my life that did kind of become pseudo parental figures that definitely didn't mean to embarrass me, but absolutely, like, just by being unapologetically themselves, I was like, oh my god, like, do I really want to be associated with you, kind of a thing. And you know, to watch that journey on screen, which was very similar to, you know, stuff that I went through when I was that age, I was like, man, this is cool.
Yeah.
So I think everybody has that film. And maybe years down the line, like, okay, what are some other Disney films that didn't, like, stick at first and then became cult classics? Like Atlantis,
Treasure Planet.
Treasure Planet.
My favorite Disney. That's my favorite Disney movie.
Yep. Treasure Planet. Sword in the Stone. The Black Cauldron. You know, stuff that is definitely not bad, but really did not get the hype it deserved when it came out. So there's always those hidden gems that eventually, like, people will look back at that and go, whether it was the animation or the story, this was really, really nice. But I can easily see how out of the last few Pixar films that Onward would seem like the most underwhelming one to people, just purely because of what it was. So I don't blame anybody for that.
And I would have to say Onward, Soul, Turning Red, and Luca are the latest 4 films from Pixar. I feel like I do feel I need to go and rewatch Onward because it's been 2 years. But I would have to say Luca is probably my favorite out of those 4. And who knows, it might become Turning Red too, because usually I like to give movies a few watches before but I've watched Luca quite a few times, and I'm just like, I love this story that you give. They're like, look at these sea monsters, and they have to deal with people wanting to kill them because they see them as monsters. But nah, this is just a story about 2 kids that just want to get a bike. And I'm like, hell yeah. Yes. Like, they just want their stupid little bike, and then they have to deal with what do they actually want and all that shit. And and then Turning Red is also just girls thinking going to their first boy band concert will make them turn them into women. We're gonna go to this concert and we're gonna leave women.
All of Pixar's recent films have been slice of life, and that is so much fun to me. Yeah, Soul, like, I think Soul seems to, like, from what I've heard about Soul, it seems like that's what it pretends like it's going to be, and then it gets existential.
Yeah. Soul's a fun one. Yeah. I would say Soul's really fun. I think you'll have a crisis, but it's like,
I will get around to watching it, absolutely, because like, I didn't even want to watch Good Dinosaur, and I managed to get through Good Dinosaur, and I don't want to talk about how I think Good Dinosaur is awful. I feel like...
No, don't worry. It was kind of funny. Before I moved to college, there was a Pixar expedition.
Oh no.
At my local art museum, and it was gorgeous. It was awesome. Like, you could interact with so much stuff. It was obviously, like, for a younger audience, but for me, my mom was like, you're going to college. You're saying, look at this Pixar place. And it was so much fun. And they had and this was 2016 when this happened. There was every single Pixar film, including Brave. Everything had a stand. Everything had something you could do with. And then you get to the gift shop, and here's one little thing of Good Dinosaur. I'm just like, so even Pixar refuses to acknowledge their own... They refuse to acknowledge it, and I think that's great. Because it is an awful film.
It's really bad. Yeah.
And I say that with all my heart and love. I'm like, you guys put more effort into the surrounding, the area that this place took in than the story. You took more care to the technology that went into the film than the actual story. Because they boasted on how the whole everything was like hyper scanned and put into place to look hyper realistic. And I'm like, okay, you put all this care into the surroundings, but it shows that's where all your money went, because look at your characters.
Yep. Exactly.
They're awful.
Exactly.
And the thing is, the story has technically already been done. Ice Age did it better.
Ice Age did it better.
It did.
I just want to mention, because I see we got some new people in the chat right now, we're on Frost Valley server. And we do have a Discord, but our Discord is private, so sorry. I only add people that I know personally. But yeah, we are on Frost Valley server if you guys just want to hang out, and all we're doing tonight is trading. Just trading and honestly talking shit.
Yeah, talking shit. Talking about movies.
But yeah, the Pixar trend of the recent one anyway, with the last, let's say excluding Soul, these last few films, where we are dropped into a character's life for Onward it's only 24 hours. That's it. Onward is 24 hours total. And Turning Red is a month. And Luca is the summer.
It's an entire summer, yeah.
Yeah. So really, you're only getting a very brief snapshot into the lives of these characters, and telling one teeny little story out of their entire lives. And I think that's wonderful, and that's obviously why there's no villain of the week character, is because you're not gonna see that in everyday life, even though there is the fantastical. You don't just see supervillains in a slice of life thing. It just doesn't make sense. So
because people don't realize that usually the quote unquote villain of your story, of a slice of life or whatever, even in people's lives, is just a headache or just an obstacle you got to get over. Like it would be a proper term to put it would be, it's the antagonist, and the antagonist is not always an actual physical figure or actual character.
Right.
It's usually the dilemmas of the characters. Like in Turning Red, she's like, do I want to stay at Panda or do I want to go see my boy band? And it's like, hell yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that might be another thing that Onward has going against it, is the fact that even though the film is 2 hours long, you still only see these characters in a 24-hour period of time, and there's not a whole lot of change. Because who's gonna have their entire mental state changed in 24 hours? It's not gonna happen. Like you're not going to go through in-depth character development in 24 hours. It just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
But
it's just impossible to look at like that.
Yes, exactly. But I think the thing that is and man, spoilers for a 2-year-old film. Sorry guys, is the whole movie is about Ian getting to meet his dad, and he never gets to meet his dad. And I know some people are like, that's not a satisfying ending, and it's like, that's not the fucking point.
Yeah, no. He even, because what I recall from the film, he acknowledged that he doesn't really remember his dad.
No, not at all.
He doesn't, he just kind of sees pictures, and he has an idea of who his dad was.
Yeah.
So it's a far more satisfying ending for him to actually be like, oh my god, my not like a father figure, father figure all along was actually my brother.
Right.
Like,
just the acceptance of it. Like, I'm okay with this.
And yeah, he's like, I'm okay with that. And I don't remember his older brother's name, but him actually going, and he's the one that gets to see his dad again.
Yeah, to say goodbye.
He grew up with him. He remembers him. He takes after his dad, as it's hinted at throughout the entire film. Ian takes after his brother because that's his like male figure in his life. But his brother had his dad, so it's like obviously his brother should be the one to see their dad.
Yeah.
You know? So that's what I liked. I'm like, good. Yeah. I'm like his brother needed that. Ian didn't necessarily need that, because if anything, looking from like, you write him, but I can only guess, is like, if he met his dad, I feel like that would just leave a bigger hole.
Right.
Of, that's my only
100%.
time I ever thought. Yeah, that's your only time in your life you're ever gonna see him.
I think the cutest part was Eden having this like little list of what he wanted to do with his father.
Yeah, the list.
Down the checklist, it's like everything that Barley had done.
Yep.
It was so precious.
It was very precious. Yeah, it was very cute that way, and I'm like, like I said, if looking from writing the character, looking at the character's psyche, he has all these ideas for who his dad would be, and then he would meet him for the only 5 whatever minutes that they had. Dude, that would totally mess someone up.
One of my favorite little details in the film is like, okay, so Barley remembers certain things about their dad, because I think they say like he was like 3 or 4, and Ian wasn't even born yet, was kind of the thing. And Barley also has this very hyped up idea of their father, but see, he has some of the memories to back it up, right? And at the end of the film, like, or all the way along, they talk about, well, when you see dad, what are you going to ask him? What are you going to talk to him about? And Ian has this big long list, like you're saying, and Barley, I think, basically is just like, well, I want to ask him what his wizard name was. And they get to the end, and the boys hug it out, and Ian's like, so did you find out what his wizard name was? And Barley's like, yeah, it was something, and it was so lame. It was so lame. It was absolutely the worst. And they just kind of laugh, and they're like, that's terrible. And you can just see the fact that Ian really thought that it was going to be something absolutely like magnificent, and this like glorified version, and in reality it was something that was so horrible that they cringe when they talk about it.
Yeah. Foolish Ian, don't you know all dads are cringe? They're a dad. Yeah, I'll have to rewatch Onward again, because currently for the next month and a half, I am just straight animating day in and day out.
Oh, so wonderful.
I for the first time today, I watched Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Oh,
I never saw it before. And I watched it for the first time as I was working today, and I'm like, you know what, Wes Anderson, I love your work.
Yeah.
So I could definitely probably tomorrow pull up Onward and give it another watch.
It's a very easy watch. It's a very easy watch. And I see somebody in the chat was like, man, that sounds kind of boring. It's not a fast-paced movie, as in there's a lot of action and there's a lot of it's not flashy in your face. I think it's funny purely because of the character interaction. I think the brothers have a really good dynamic, and it changes. It very visibly changes throughout the film, which is super fun. The mom is a wonderful character. The Manticore, another wonderful character. But my favorite part about the film as a whole is the fact that basically it's a complete fairy tale world, but it's just like modern day. Like they've become so disenchanted by the fact that they live in, you know, a world that used to have, or that has unicorns on the street digging through your garbage. Like they're not your high fantasy unicorn. They're glorified raccoons. You know, and all these legends don't exist, and trolls are taking tolls at the bridge, you know, like actually, you know, like manning toll booths, and all this like really awesome fantasy stuff that you'd see in something like Lord of the Rings and just go, wow, oh my god, high fantasy. And they've made it the most mundane thing because that's these characters' everyday lives. And the moment that magic gets reintroduced, they all freak the fuck out. And it's amazing because none of them believe that it was real. Like even though it's supposedly all based on history, not a single one of them believed it was real. And that's just it's a very unique standpoint in the fantasy genre, in my opinion.
I do have one critique for it though.
Oh, absolutely.
If I maybe I'll have to do, if I rewatch it tomorrow, maybe like I'll change my mind on it. But I just remember because goodbye.
Oh, Courtney knew.
Courtney
knew.
But yeah, I think my one critique was, like, I know the dad in the entire film was just a pair of legs, which is hilarious. Like, he still had his personality and he was just bumping around and stuff. But I don't know, the dad legs just
dad
felt
legs
like
weird you out.
No, not weird, but it just felt like he was a side character. Like he was just there while they were in a car driving, but they never focused on him. They're just like, yep, that he's there.
Oh, yeah.
He's there. But he's not that important. When I feel like they should have, like, I know the point of the story is Ian accepting that he doesn't need, he has his male figure in his life, but I'm still like, okay, you literally have the dad right there, and yet you're not doing anything with them.
And I totally get that, and I really wish they would have done more with the father. But I think, like, and I'd have to go back and watch it too, because it has been a while since I've watched it. But the part that I always kind of thought was funny is that, like, you know, you mentioned the dad's kind of like a side character. Well, Ian's the one really dragging his dad along. Like, when you go back and watch it, you'll see that, like, Barley's just kind of like, all right, let's finish this quest. Like, he's more focused on the quest, because it really, even though their dad is there, he's still not all the way there. So, but then Ian is just like, come on, Dad, like, oh, I gotta, like, let me tell you all about this stuff, and like, they literally put him on a leash. They put they put the legs on a leash, but that's all Ian. That's all Ian trying to work their dad into the dynamic, and he doesn't fit. Because he's never had to, because he's never been there. But, you know, from a character standpoint, it does seem like there's just a useless pair of legs.
They're just flopping around.
It's a little funny.
Yeah. I just wish they would have done more.
You know how they had to figure out how just legs were gonna move? So they actually had somebody dress up in pants like that with, like, a blue screen suit, like a blue screen shirt on, and they tied their hands behind their back, and they, like, tried to do everyday tasks with just their feet. And it's,
oh my god,
it's great to watch. There's some, like, behind the scenes, like, footage somewhere, but oh my god, it just, the dedication to, we gotta make these legs look right.
Oh yeah, because what's funny about that too is one of the very first basic animation lessons that you have, not in my school, but in a lot of schools, is they'll give you a rig that is just hips and legs. And they're like, okay, now make it walk. So it's like, so it's kind of like funny that, like, you know, the legs are basically animation fundamentals, but feature film version.
Yeah.
Because what people don't realize a lot when animation is, oh yeah, walk cycles, run cycles, they suck. They're awful. We all hate them. But guess what? That's
you gotta do them.
95% of what you're gonna be animating for the rest of your life. Because currently I'm doing like.
Are you stuck in walk cycle hell?
No, we have a thing called Studio Library where our lead animator, he has made you can basically, he'll make an animation and then we can take it and put it in our same animation. So I did that for 2 of my shots, just because I'm just like, okay, you already animated this. And he did, like, and he's like, if you can use it because it'll cut your time and have to focus on more important things. And I'm like, hell yeah. So 2 shots of the 11 that I am currently working on just have his copy pasted run cycles in. So it's like, yay, I did it. Like, go.
Yay, Larry, so proud.
I'm animating. I copy paste. There's like it like, if you in the industry, if it can cut your time in half, or and cut any time at all, you do it.
Yep, it's all about ease of production time. Understandable. Even just like, you know, the model horse world, that's kind of the same thing. Is like, if there's something that we can do easier by doing XYZ, we'll do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it saves you time, it saves you money. Like, let's be honest.
For us, it's time, because we have only 15 days to get 2 to 3 minute shorts completely animated, and there's 10 animators on the team. So and there's 99 shots in total. So we all of us got about 11 shots. So it's like, and that's what we work on day in and day out. And then my director's like, I'm sorry guys, right after this one we're jumping into the next 2 episodes. Please, he's like, I don't want you to get burnout, so just let us know if you need to offload some work. I really like working for Mattel, so they really focus on, like, hey, we don't want you to suffer, and I'm like, thank you.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I see some can I join the club requests, and I only invite people to the club that I know personally. So sorry guys, the answer is no. But I don't mind you guys hanging out, obviously, in chat and just vibing with us, because it's always nice to see people in chat and running around with us on Star Stable while we train. But as far as the club and the Discord server, it's only for personal friends. Yeehaws.
Yeehaw, gamers. Horsies.
Horse game.
Horse game, but yeah, animation, woo! Cries about it.
Yeah.
But also, it's what I do for a living. Whoa.
Yeah. Man,
I can't wait, though, to show you guys.
Yeah, I want to see.
It will not be until, like, the summer, though.
That's okay.
Then I can be like, guys, look, I made this.
That's okay.
It has dinosaurs in it, guys.
Man, Pixar talk. Man, Pixar talk.
Pixar's good. Pixar very
God,
good.
I just... Because it's been so long since I've watched Onward. Like, I can't say, like, my Ian Muse is not there, but I definitely need to, like, rewatch it. Purely for that reason.
Yeah.
But that's
not because you love it or anything.
Well, okay, let me see if you guys have this same kind of experience. Is I have to be in a certain headspace to dedicate the time to watching something, even if I like it. You know, like, if I'm working on something, I like to put on something that I don't have to pay a lot of attention to because I feel like it takes less spoons. But like there will be times that I will put off watching something even if I'm super excited for it because I don't mentally feel like I'm prepared to pay attention to it. And I don't know if that's something that like you guys have experienced as well. But that is definitely something that I go through. Like I put off watching like Endgame and like all those like some of the big Avengers movies because I was like, I actually want to dedicate some brain to watching that, you know, because I want to, when it comes to stuff that I'm super interested in, especially stuff that may have an effect on my writing, I want to be able to watch it not necessarily critically, but to observe. You know, to have that like, I want to be like a sponge, and I want to take it all in. And when I'm not in the right headspace, I cannot do that. Like watching movies is not a mindless experience for me, unless it's like some really dumb comedy, you know, like unless it's something that I really don't care about that much and I just put it on to relax. Like I spent the last month and a half binge watching King of the Hill because it was so easy to just put on and not care about. Or like I've watched Scrubs about 1 million times, the entire series, because it's just something that I can, it's long running and I can put it on and not think about it. So like that's why like sometimes when I'm like, oh, I really want to rewatch Onward, I really want to rewatch Homecoming, like especially anything that has to do with characters that I write, it has to be like a conscious experience for me. So that's why I get stuck on like, I keep saying, oh, I should watch this again, and then I don't.
I guess for me, like when I want to plan to watch a movie, it has to be like the stars have to be aligned, you know, for me. Firstly, because I'm like, when I like to watch, if I like to watch a movie, either it's because I'm watching it during work, so I have something that I can focus my brain on, so I don't get like lost in thought while I work.
Yes.
But I literally had the Fantastic Mr. Fox tab opened for a solid week and a half. Like, doesn't feel right to watch this yet. It doesn't feel right. The stars aren't aligned. And then today the stars finally aligned. I'm like, okay, today's the perfect day to watch this.
Exactly. Okay, so you get it.
But it's not the mental headspace.
It's not the spoons. It's not the spoons thing. It's the stars aligning.
It's the stars aligning. I don't need to have my full focus on it though. Like I watched Fantastic Mr. Fox, and sure, I missed probably a good few chunks of like visual cues and all that stuff, because it took me a little bit into the movie to figure out that the white fox, the young white fox, was actually the cousin, and I thought the little shit was the cousin the entire time. And I'm like, oh, because I was working and everything. I wasn't fully into it, but I don't know, something today that I was like, you know what, I am. Today's the right mood to watch Fantastic Mr. Fox.
See, I get moments like that too, where it's like sometimes it's not the spoons thing, it's the like, I'm not in the mood to watch this.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of both.
For me, it has to be a mood. And currently, too, while I'm working, I'm currently getting through the entirety of Once Upon a Time. Because I watched that religiously before I went to college, and then college hit, and you don't got time past that point because you made all these friends and you got all this homework, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, okay, I'm rewatching all this, and I'm on the second to last season, and I'm like, God, this is dog shit, but I gotta get through it.
That's what my mom's doing right now with the same series, and she's like, man, I forgot how bad it really is towards the end.
It's so bad. But I'm just like, it's like a drama. It's like a house fire. You just can't look away. Boy, Amber's still here.
Yep.
Amber, I'm sorry, we're so loud.
Yeah, we're so loud.
No, you're good.
How do you feel? What I was going to say
was, I feel great, honestly. Tired from work, but dealing with customers all day.
Oh.
Yeah. But how do you watch movies, Amber?
See, like, we're all taking this from, like, a writer's perspective, and, like, I know, Lurie, you don't have a canon character you write, but, like, Amber, I don't know if you're the same way as me, where you're like, man, if I want to, like, refresh myself, I have to be mentally prepared.
Honestly, I've been meaning to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender for the last year now. I love that show. I adore that show so much, but it's like the stars has not been in line to watch it for like a whole year.
Mm-hmm. It has to feel right.
It has to feel right.
Yeah, so we're all shaking hands. We're
yeah,
all like,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We got this, guys.
I always, and then people are like, Lurie, you should watch this show, or Lurie, you should listen to this audio book, and I'm just like, oh yeah, sure, but I'm like, I'm not through Once Upon a Time yet. I can't make any other commitments.
I'm kind of the same way. Like, I do legitimately have, like whenever somebody recommends something to me, if I can find it on Hulu or Netflix or Disney Plus or whatever, like, I'll add it to my list. And there will be several times that I'm like, oh man, I'm looking for something to watch. Let me check my list. And I'll go down and go, not feeling it.
Right.
No. And I don't know. Like, a lot of times with that kind of stuff, it's very much a mood thing. But when it comes to, like, anything that relates back to my writing, that's when I need to have the spoons. Like, I have so many things to say about No Way Home, and my brain has just been like, you know what you want to say, but are there words?
No.
Those burr.
Yeah, it just vibrates, like you know, it just vibrates around in a circle on the table, but it won't let me actually say anything. It's like a phone that I can't pick up. It's like I see the caller ID, and it's something it's somebody I really want to talk to, but I cannot bring myself to touch it. So it will vibrate endlessly.
Oh yeah. What's so silly? I am sure this is a fairly universal experience of when you're pulling up a movie that you think you want to watch, or like maybe a show, and you're like, 30-minute TV show, 45-minute TV show, too long, and this movie is like an hour 45 minutes. It's too long.
Yep, I'm
gonna click on this YouTube video that's 50 minutes. Let's go. That's the perfect.
God, I do that so often. I'm like, man, I do not have the time for a 2-hour movie, and then I sit and proceed to watch 8 episodes of the same sitcom, or like whatever, you know, like whatever I'm watching.
Yeah.
8 half-an-hour episodes, twice the length that the movie would be.
It hits different. It's different.
It is different.
Don't you know that 8 30-minute episodes are shorter than a 2-hour movie? Gosh.
But why is that? Why does that feel right?
It feels right because it is right. Time is irrelevant.
Oh my god. I'm so glad that I'm not alone in that experience. Because sometimes I feel like, is there something wrong with me? Is this the ADHD kicking in? The undiagnosed ADHD kicking in?
No,
like, are there people that actually sit down and decide they want to watch a movie?
Like,
are you
my
out
parents
there?
Every night. That's my parents, like, every night. Kind of thing. Like, they'll watch a show or a movie, or my mom's favorite show is the weather. And I'm just like, I can't just sit down and dedicate straight on, like, because I shake my fists at technology of, I know there's been studies of, phones and all that stuff has cut everyone's attention span by like
I believe
99%.
it. I do.
And
I
it's
believe
true.
it.
Like, I'll sit and
true.
watch a movie, like, in a movie theater, because in a movie theater,
yeah.
you're just like, hell yeah. But when I'm at home, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch a movie, I'll be checking my phone, and then talking to people on Discord as the movie is going.
Same. Like, unless I'm watching it with family, like when I was still living at home,
Right.
we'd have we'd have time where we would like hang out together at night, and we'd put on something that we were all invested in, whether it was a movie or like we had a couple TV shows that we'd all like gather around for. And sometimes I would totally devote myself to watching whatever we were watching, but the majority of the time I was writing or like chatting to people on Discord. Like, I'd have my laptop out or my phone, you know, for a good chunk of it. And it's like, I don't know if that's just because I was really invested in the conversations I was having with people, or if it was because it was a slow moment during the show that I knew that I would still be able to pick up on if I wasn't paying attention, you know, like, I don't know. There's stuff like that I'm like, well, you know, do I really need to, you know, devote the entirety of my night to watching this thing, you know, or is it okay? Like, will I still know what's going on if I take a 2-minute break to check my phone? And if the answer was yes, then I would.
Yeah, no, I'm shaking your hand on that.
Because like I used to, and I find myself not quite being able to do this anymore. And I don't know if it's improved my writing or hurt my writing, is I used to constantly have something on when I was writing, whether it was music and music with words. Like, it wasn't like film scores. Sometimes it would be, but most often it's like I would have a playlist dedicated to the character that I was writing, blah blah blah. Or I would have like YouTube videos on. Like, a lot of times when I do that kind of thing, if I want something mindless, I like people talking to me and explaining things to me. So I like listening to a lot of the late night guys, because I feel like it's a really easy to swallow way to consume current events that don't feel like I'm reading a newspaper or don't feel like I'm watching the news, something like that. You know, so I would kind of have that stuff on, and that would be like my catch up for the day. Or I watch a lot of John Oliver or Trevor Noah, because those guys, like, they'll do offshoots on like weird topics that nobody really covers, and it was just somebody talking in the background, and I liked having that noise. And now sometimes I feel like I can't do that, and I actually have to physically pause the thing, write what I need to write, and then go back to it, because I just cannot focus on both things at the same time anymore. And I don't know if that's just me getting older and lacking that, like lacking the ability to differentiate, or or if it's just because I'm more I care more about what I'm putting out, and therefore I need to pay attention to it. And I don't know, but yeah.
Then there's me. I'm just like, I'm gonna post this silly post. I don't care if no one likes it. I'm forcing them to look at it.
No, I mean I do shitpost my fair amount.
Oh yeah, I know you do. Listen, you're not like, I remember the days that are pretty much past of when like everyone felt like they had to make everything look professional and all that jazz. And some people are still on that kick. I'm just like, y'all, we're just nerds playing make-believe in our 20s.
Bruh, we're playing paper dolls online with characters that we don't even own. Get off your high horse, man.
It's like, guys, we're all a bunch of weirdos. You don't have to act like the cool kid. I promise you are not the cool kid.
Yeah, exactly.
If you went to anyone in real life who knows nothing about roleplay, and you're just like, yeah, I roleplay, and they're gonna be like, nerd. And
they
like,
really think you're weird. Like they really think you're weird. Like because
dude,
I personally don't, like, even though I don't give out my blog name necessarily to people, I do not hide that that's something that I do, because I don't really feel like it's the same with the model horses. It's like that's a big part of me. I really enjoy doing it, and I don't feel the need to hide it from anybody. And I know that there are several people that would be mortified if anybody in their life found out anything that they were writing, or like the model horses. There are a lot of people that are like, man, I collect horses, but I would never tell anyone about it. I think it's so embarrassing. And I'm like, well, if you think it's embarrassing, why are you doing it?
Yeah.
Like, have a little bit of pride in you. You like you may think what you're doing is cringe, but then kind of look back at it, and this does relate back to like Turning Red. Even, it's like, you may think that what you're doing is cringe, or you look at somebody else and think that what they're doing is cringe. Why? There's nothing wrong. Like, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. Whether it's, you're writing on a blog, or you're collecting action figures, or you're streaming horse game to people online. like there's nothing wrong with being very unapologetically you. And I think in an era like the era that we're in is super focused on appearances, and everybody feels like they need to look cool and be hip. You gotta be trendy, and you have to be on all the time, and you have to always be interested in stuff that the mass populace seems interested in, or be weirded out by things that they're weirded out by. And that's not the case. It's not.
Like there's like a big, like, because it's kind of like a meme saying, but it's like a true saying that's going around, that's like, do not kill the part of you that is cringe, kill the part of you that cringes.
Yes.
Like, hell yeah.
Yes, exactly.
And it's true. It's just like listen, when everyone was growing up, when you were in elementary school, you brought up Pokemon, or you brought your whatever to school, whatever thing that you loved with your whole heart to school, and you got bullied for it, right? But that's just stupid kids being stupid kids. But guess what? Now you're in your 20s.
Yep.
And you're bringing back everything that you love, and you're just like, I have adult money now. Yes. This is going to be my entire being.
Oh, 100%.
It's like once you're an adult, like literally, like no one gives a shit. Who cares? No. Do what you want. Buy your plastic ponies. Buy your Pokemon cards. Buy your little online virtual horses that you'll run around for a week and then forget about. It's fine.
And then like I love being that person that like, there are some hobbies and stuff that like people have that society clearly thinks is taboo for some reason. Like, there's a girl that she's newer at work, and I was because like we're roughly the same age, and actually a lot of the people I work with now are roughly the same age as me, which is kind of cool, and a lot of us have similar interests. And I was tasked with like looking at this girl's resume and just checking out her art, because that's what we were hiring for. And they're like, oh, Emma, you do it. You have a good eye. And I'm like, cool. All right. And I looked up her stuff, and she makes fursuits. And I know that some people think that that's a really like taboo thing. It's like, oh my God, you're a furry. Like, heaven forbid you be a furry, that kind of thing. And I brought that up. It was really refreshing for me that when I brought that up in a meeting and was like, look at the work that this person is putting out. It's amazing, because they're very good. They're excellent.
Yeah.
And you know, the whole point of it was like, look at the work that this person's putting out and look at the care that they devote to it, and they clearly know how to use every tool that we would ask them to use. And it's because they put that on their resume. Like, some people would probably be mortified to have that on their resume, that they make fursuits. And no, it's like, it did help you get it. Like, absolutely. Like, I've not that I've put like role play on my like, not specifically, but I know like some people have put like, I play D&D. It's a collaborative, you know, like, I have to be creative and I have to work as a team and this, that, and the other thing. And today at lunch, I happened to pass her and I was like, hey, I just really want you to know that I looked at your Instagram and I think your stuff is amazing. And you can just like the moment I said I found your Instagram, you could just tell like I could just tell that she was kind of like where's this gonna go, you know? But I was like, no, it's amazing. And she got the biggest smile on her face. I was like, yes, you know.
You're like, I complimented this.
Yeah, like something that there's a very good chance that they could be sensitive about, you know, that because it, you know, some people may think it's odd or whatever, that there's a good chance that people have said bad things to her before along those lines. And I hate that idea.
Like, probably even her own family, man.
Right. You know, like, you never know. And I there's normally today is the day that I stop for like fast food on my way home, because I don't cook during like stream night. It doesn't make sense to. I don't have time. And I stopped at the one McDonald's in like 20 miles of my apartment. So it's always the same people that I see every time. And there's a girl that works there and she always has different nails. And it's very, very clear that, like, even though it's not my thing, is, you know, the people that do like the really long acrylics, like the crazy acrylics, like that's the kind of stuff that she had on. And I was like, oh my god, I have to say something about her nails, because they're just like, they're so wonderfully outlandish. And like as she was handing me my food, I was like, oh my god, I love your nails. And she just kind of like squeaked and she was like, oh, thank you. Like, like, man, you know, like, I love doing that to people. And like, you know, seeing that in like role play circles or any kind of hobby circle, and like complimenting people like that is so much fun, because a lot of the times they don't feel like they deserve it, because somewhere along the line somebody has told them like otherwise, and it's just oof.
Right. Like, I'm a cashier at a cafe, and so I see a number of different people.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing this one middle-aged lady who was wearing a Harry Potter outfit. I was like, oh, I love your shirt. And she got the most happiest grin, and then started to show off her guest room pictures that was like dedicated to Harry Potter.
Oh.
And it was like the most wholesome thing in the world to see.
Oh,
I love that.
Then there's me, who, like, one of my coworkers, he took the characters, like, we have Owen and Claire, and they were doing like a meme. They were doing a meme in the background. And I don't know if you guys watch Super Mega, but my coworker also had a Super Mega shirt on. And then I was trying to tell him, I'm like, your Super Mega shirt really adds to it. Because, like, I also watch Super Mega.
Yeah.
And then they were like, Lurie, you're muted. And I saw the red button on my mic. I'm like, oh, I'll unmute. I clicked out, and I was like, your Super Mega shirt really adds to it. And they're just like, Lurie, you're still muted. And I look up in the corner of Microsoft Teams, and I forgot that because I entered a little bit late, that it mutes you when, like, more than a few people are in there.
No.
And then when I had the realization, I guess the face I made was of utter betrayal and disgust, because everyone started laughing at me. They're like, you look so upset. And I'm like, because
like, I just want to compliment your shirt.
Yeah, and then I'm like, I'm just trying to say your Super Mega shirt really adds to it. And he's like, oh, thank you. Like, a genuine, like, oh, like surprised that I would know who Super Mega is kind of thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I'm just like, and then I was like, it's fine. It just didn't want me to talk. Like, I'm derailing the whole meeting. And my director was joking with me. He's like, no,
Keep
it's not fine. This isn't okay. And I was like, it made some people smile. And get a load of this. My director / boss's name is Aaron. And I'm like, listen, Aaron. Like, it made everyone smile.
Listen here, big cat. I too watch Game Grumps.
I too watch Game Grumps. Oh my god. But yeah, just trying to compliment one compliment had to go through like 3 hoops to compliment someone.
Yeah. I mean, I get the, like, I do the, like, I kind of, let me see if I can, like, reframe, because I know this is on topic, but, like, the way I'm going to start it is not. So, I have, like, kind of different interests from my boyfriend, and I don't understand some of the things that he talks to me about, but I still love hearing him talk about it, and, like, it's the same for, and I made that post on my blog earlier before, because I was definitely, like, feeling it today, and I made that post on my blog that was like, man, I may not really, like, have any interest in the characters that you, like, certain characters that you guys write, but I just think it's amazing that y'all do what you do, and I get to look at it and hear about it every day, like it fills me with joy, and
so much.
And that's the same thing I get from, like, any, like, real life conversation I have where he's super into computers, and I understand some of it, but I don't understand a lot of it. Like, I don't understand the inner workings of a computer, and that's what he does for a job, is, like, you know, he used to tear computers apart, put them back together. He built his own PC. He wanted to build my PC. You know, like, that's just something he's super into. And or certain anime, like, there's anime that I really like, that may be mainstream, may be obscure, but I'm kind of picky with that. Oh, goodbye, Amber. Bye.
Goodbye, Amber.
And but he watches a hell of a lot more than me, and it's very fun to, like, watch him nerd out over things that I may not understand. And I just love that for people. Like, you go, you funky little person. You do your thing, because I just like hearing you talk about things that make you happy.
Yeah.
You know?
It's always good to just listen. Like, people are always just full of so much joy when you just let them ramble, and you get to sit there and you nod your head, and you're just like, you're having a great time. Yeah. You're like, I understand 50% of this, but I'm just gonna let you go.
50% or less.
50% or less. 50% on a good day.
Right.
But I should probably think about pop off
to
wind down for the evening.
Yeah, I'm gonna end the stream. So goodbye, stream.
Bye-bye, stream.